guys, welcome back to Missick and Matt Sports Talk. And for this video, we're going to be previewing the Bluejays 2020 60-game season. So we're going to start off by looking at some of the new additions that they brought to the team this past off season. Cody, take it away.
Okay, first off, we got 33-year-old starting pitcher, my man, Hyunjin Ryu.
My man.
So he used to play for the Dodgers. He was an all-star last year. I believe, did he lead in ERA?
I think he had the lowest ERA in the National League
I
last
think so.
year.
He was 19th in NL voting for MVP. He's pretty awesome. If you haven't seen him pitch, he's beating. So.
And we do think he's probably one of the best starting pitchers the Blue Jays have had over the past decade or so. Next up, we got from the formerly of the Brewers, Travis Shaw. And last year, Travis Shaw hit 157, I think. Not very good. He didn't get a lot of hits, didn't have a lot of home runs, didn't have a lot of RBIs, struck out a lot. He had a limited amount of games, and he played like half of the games he played the year prior. But if Travis Shaw can regain like 50% of what he was the past two seasons prior to that, he could help some Blue Jays have some success.
2017, he had 31 bombs, 101 RBI. He hit 273. That's pretty damn good. Then 2018, 32 bombs, 86 RBI. Batting average went down to 241.
But I feel like if Travis Shaw can just regain half of that in this short, unique season, the Blue Jays could have some major success.
He can still be a great player, but I feel like he needed a... Next up, we got all-around infielder, 29-year-old Joe Panic.
Formerly of the Mets and Giants. He's going to be a utility player for the Jays. Former All-Star in like 2015?
Yes, 2016 Gold Glove and 2014 World Series champ. He's gone down since 2018, but overall his fielding is more of his strong suit. Batting, he's never really done anything special. He's just a good defensive player.
Fun fact, I saw Joe Panic hit a bomb off Kenley Jansen once, and that was awesome.
1-0 final.
And up next, we got top prospect Nate Pearson. Now, Nate's not really new to the Blue Jays organization per se, but he's definitely new to the big league roster as he split time with AA New Hampshire last year, and then I think he pitched 3 games with AAA Buffalo.
You guys may have saw a couple days ago we started an exhibition. Not the greatest start, obviously.
Well, just not the first great few innings. He settled in there.
3.2 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 Ks, and 2 walks. It's not that bad, but
there is a lot of stuff to like about Nate, as he throws heat, gas, as they say, and he's got a really lively fastball, as I said 4 times there. But the one problem that at least we saw in the exhibition game with Nate Pearson is that he kind of struggles with his breaking ball control. With his curveball, changeup, slider. Changeup's not really a breaking ball, but it's an off-speed pitch. Kind of struggles with control, but there's a lot of things to like about Nate Pearson.
He's an aggressive pitcher. He likes to attack batters, and scouts positively believe that he'll be a great player in the future. Next up, we got full-time reliever, 33-year-old Shun Yamaguchi.
Oh yeah, my boy.
Everyone's kind of excited to see this guy. He's from Japan and signed a 2-year deal with the Jays, and from what I've seen, he's got pretty good numbers.
Yeah, in Japan, as Cody mentioned 30 seconds ago, he was a full-time reliever in Japan. He had a 16-4 win-loss record, which is pretty impressive for a reliever, with a 2.7 ERA, and he struck out almost 200 batters and just over 60 walks.
Next up on our season preview, we got the Big Three. First up, we got my man, Bo Bichette.
The Flo
He's
Bichette.
got nasty flow, nasty lettuce. He's expected to shine this year. Had a great first year last year. He's an aggressive swinger, first pitch swinging kind of guy. And That's all we gotta say about it, pretty much.
Yeah, Bo, he should have a pretty good year. I think he played like 46 or so games last year. He had over 300. The 2 bombs off Kershaw was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
If I do say so
And
myself.
the moonshot against the Yankees.
That was awesome.
Like third deck.
And as Cody mentioned, he's got awesome flow. And when you're looking for an awesome baseball player, they have to have flow, like Bo.
It's a young stud.
He's all right. Next on the big 3, we got the son of Astros legend Craig Biggio, Kevin Biggio. The second baseman for the Blue Jays was a hit machine last year. Well, actually, an on-base machine.
Yeah, especially in September. If you saw.
September, he was off. Is that when he got the cycle? Because he hit for
the cycle against Baltimore.
The Orioles. And hopefully he's grown a lot since the offseason.
Last of the big 3, we got big boy Vlad Guerrero Jr. Me personally, I think there was way too much hype over him last year. He did not, I guess, live up to expectations because everyone thought he'd hit 50 bombs. But this year, hopefully he can just relax and play the game.
I feel like Vlad should have a better year because if he didn't have a great year last year, as we saw in the home run derby,
that was sick.
That man has some pop on his bat.
He shouldn't have been there, but that was sick. Comment below who you think is thicker, Vlad or Rowdy.
All right, everyone. So next in our little Blue Jays season preview here, we're going to have the sleeper picks to hopefully help the Blue Jays in this short 60-game season. So first up, I got Matt Shoemaker here, and if you remember last year, Shoemaker pitched really well.
Pretty good.
Yeah, in his first 5 games, I think he went 3-0 with a 1.57 ERA before unfortunately tearing his ACL against the Oakland Athletics, which led to his season just being done. But I feel like in this short 60-game span, if the Blue Jays can get someone like Matt Shoemaker who can pitch well, because he pitched well in a short little span there. So I feel like if he can recreate that, the Blue Jays should have some success here.
I always find with the Blue Jays, they always have tons of injuries, especially when it comes to pitching. And if Shoemaker and like Baraki can stay healthy, hopefully they don't do that bad. Next up on our Toronto Blue Jays sleepers, we got bullpen pitcher Jordan Romano. Last year, Jordan Romano was kind of cheeks. He went 0-2, posting a 7.63 ERA in 17 games out of the bullpen.
Unfortunately for Romano, he got injured last year, as a lot of the Blue Jays did. But if you look at the stats, it was like 98% of the time or something, it was either a fastball or slider he threw. So he didn't really rely on his sinker very much. We'll see if he goes to him more this year, but
see what happens.
He's pretty much, his bread and butter is his fastball slider combination. So I guess we'll see what Romano does this year. Another sleeper for the Blue Jays is third baseman / DH Travis Shaw. Now we already touched on Shaw 2 segments ago, so I'm not really going to go into detail on there because we already did that. But I feel like if Shaw can recreate the magic that he had 2 years ago with Milwaukee, where he hit over 30 home runs, and he had a good average, got a lot of RBIs. I feel like he can really help the Blue Jays get some success here in the 60-game season.
Bring some pop in that bat. Next up on our Blue Jays season preview are starting positions. So catchers, we got Danny Jansen and Reese McGuire.
I personally really liked Danny Jansen last year. I feel like although he doesn't really bring it offensively, he's amazing behind the plate.
He was a runner-up for Gold Glove voting.
And then we also got Reese McGuire. I don't know who will start. Maybe they'll rotate, the little platoon action.
Reese McGuire's a better hitter.
He is a better hitter, but Danny's a better fielder. So I feel like they'll probably platoon him. They bring the best of both worlds there.
Depends on the situation.
All right, for our next position here, we got first base. We got the battle of the big boys,
Guerrero and Tellez.
Yeah, we got Vlad, who was playing third last year. They moved over to first, obviously, and we'll touch on why. A little bit of panic and Shaw action. But he looked pretty good at first in the exhibition / scrimmage games.
Yeah, he made a nice diving catch there.
Yeah, and then we also got Rowdy Tellez, who probably will DH. Maybe Vlad will DH sometimes. Maybe Shaw will DH sometimes.
Next position, we got second baseman, Kevin Biggio.
Yeah, we touched on when we did our big three. Biggio, obviously an on-base machine, a little bit of a below-average fielder, I'd say, but I feel like since he's young, he'll be growing just like Vlad and Bichette would.
Lots of room to improve.
Next up, we got shortstop Bo with the flow, Bichette. Obviously, Bo is a stud, and he's got
flow.
the awesome lettuce. It was either the first or I think it was the second scrimmage game against the Red Sox. You saw him make that
sick diving catch.
He made that beautiful diving catch with that awesome throw to first.
Another full count delivery to Chavis from Thornton. It's hit on the ground. Great diving stop by Bichette. Pick it up from the outfield grass and throw a bullet to first base. A terrific play by Bo Bichette. Takes a step and dives to his right, winds up in short left field, and throws out Michael Chavis. One away, and what a tremendous first out here in the third inning.
And as we touched on in the big three, Bo's got a really lively bat, hit over 300 last year in that short sample size. So I guess we'll see how Bo does there.
Oh yeah. Third base, we got two new members, Joe Panic and Travis Shaw.
Obviously, we touched on them earlier in the new additions list. We touched on Shaw a few times, so we won't go into detail there, but we do think Joe Panic should help in the field as he is a former Gold Glover, former All-Star.
Prefer him at third than Vlad.
Yeah,
definitely.
Vlad's not the best fielder. That's why he's at first. But he definitely should help with his fielding and hopefully limit the errors. And
got some experience.
All right, next up, we got our utility players / extra infielders. We got Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Brandon Jury. Not much to say on Jury's part. He's a decent fielder. He's injured quite a bit.
Yeah.
He doesn't really excel with the bat. Gurriel
can play anywhere.
He can play anywhere.
Got nice hair.
Got real nice hair. He's got the headband, which is pretty awesome.
Okay, so in the outfield, most likely starting in left field will be Gurriel. Center will be Grichuk, and right will be Hernandez.
We touched on Gurriel a couple seconds ago, so we're not going to go into detail there. But Randall Grichuk, acquired from St. Louis a few years ago.
Getting in an argument with Stroman.
Getting in an argument like a lot of people do on Twitter with Stroman. Not a great contact hitter, but Grich got some pop. He did hit that home run against the Red Sox, I believe, in the exhibition games.
Had like 32 bombs last year or something like that.
Yeah, you can rely on him for 20 to 30 homers per year.
Teoscar, he's got to lay off that high fastball.
He loves to swing way above the zone, and it's so annoying. But kind of like the same as Grichuk, not a great average hitter. Still going to get you 20, 30 bombs per year. But lay off that fastball, Teoscar.
I don't mind Teoscar. I mean, he can be a good hitter if he can lay off those pitches. I mean, fielding is so-so. There's an error here or there, but
I feel like Teoscar's kind of just got to shorten up on that bat, hit a little bit better for average, and I feel like he's going to be a pretty good outfielder if he can just improve his game all around.
And then extras, we got Billy McKinney, Anthony Alford, and
Derek Fisher.
The pitch is swung on, hit in the air to deep right field. Looking up, that ball is gone. Kevin Pillar chasing it to the warning track, but Derek Fisher puts it in the bullpen.
So this game is tied. The go-ahead run sits at second base, but it won't matter because the go-ahead run can trot home because it's a go-ahead two-run home run for Derek Fisher. He sends it over the bullpen in Boston, powering Toronto in front here in the ninth.
If you remember last year, made that error where it just hit him in the face. It was kind of funny, but I also felt kind of bad. And then Billy McKinney, other than some MLB The Show success with me, kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about him. He's a lefty, got a little bit of pop, but other than that, not much to say. And Anthony Alford,
he's got some speed, but hasn't really thrived in the big leagues yet.
Right, next up, we got the starting five. And the ace, our man, Hyun-Jin Ryu. Former Dodger, the big lefty, led with the lowest ERA last year in the NL. Kind of got snubbed for Cy Young if I put my opinion out there. but he should be pretty good. He's getting up there in age. I think he's 33, but
He pitches like he did last year.
he's been pretty good. It seems like the older he gets, the better he gets. So let's see how he does with the Blue Jays this year. And then next up, we got Matt Shoemaker, who we touched on earlier. Didn't have a full season last year, only 5 games. But he was pretty damn good in those 5 games with a sub-2 ERA, 3-0 record. He was pretty good. Hopefully he can recreate that magic. The third pitcher, we got Tanner Roark, the former A pitcher and former Nationals pitcher. Pitched for the A's last year. Not much to say about him.
He's not great. He's not awful.
He's getting up there. He's just a guy, I guess.
Yeah.
He's not really anything. And then fourth, we got
Goggle Man.
Trent Thornton. What's up, sports dad?
Sometimes he can throw fire kind of and like go like 7 innings, and then other days he goes like with the Stroman classic bases loaded first inning.
I will admit Trent Thornton last year not great, but in the exhibition game he pitched against Boston, I actually really liked how Trent looked. I felt like although he wasn't really hitting his target, he was putting in places that were good enough.
Yeah, can't hit bombs.
Yeah. And then we got our 5th pitcher in the rotation. We got lefty Anthony Kay.
Acquired in the Stroman deal. He was one of the biggest parts of that deal. I think there was only 2 players they got back. His first start, I remember he did actually pretty good, but then later on in like his 3rd and 4th start, he got hit around pretty bad.
I guess we'll see how he does in his first full season with the Blue Jays. Should be pretty exciting there.
Extra starters, we got Ryan Borucki and Chase Anderson.
And then for relievers, we got new Blue Jay Anthony Bass, AJ Cole, Sean Yamaguchi, Jacob Walksback, Jordan Romano, Sam Gaviglio, Thomas Hatch, Brian Moran, and Rafael Dolis, and the closer, Ken Giles. Anthony Bass pitched for the Mariners last year. Wasn't horrible. He doesn't look terrible with the Blue Jays here in the little scrimmage games. I guess we'll see how he does. AJ Cole, I don't even know
who that is.
I don't know much about AJ Cole, but I know he's not great. He's all right. He's just another guy. We touched on Sean Yamaguchi.
He's pretty sick.
He pitched pretty good last year in Japan. Jacob Walksback.
He was actually, I didn't mind him.
I didn't mind Walksback either. He wasn't spectacular, but he was just a warm body, I guess.
That one game against the Dodgers last year, he pitched like into the 8th inning and then blew it, but that's because the Blue Jays had like 2 hits.
We touched on Jordan Romano, how he wasn't great last year. Lively fastball, good slider. Sam Gaviglio.
He was a bad starter, but actually isn't that bad in the bullpen.
I don't mind myself some Sam Gaviglio, if I'm being honest. Thomas Hatch, honestly, I don't know who Thomas Hatch is. I know that's bad for a Blue Jays preview.
Yeah, sorry, but
I don't know who Thomas Hatch is. You probably don't know who Thomas Hatch is. Brian Moran is an interesting one because his brother is Charlie Moran for the Pirates, who's pretty awesome. And there was this at-bat last year was Moran versus Moran, and I think Brian Moran struck him out. He's a big lefty with a weird delivery. He wasn't great with the Marlins last year, but also it's the Marlins. No one's really great with the Marlins. But he's got a weird delivery, kind of funky. I guess we'll see how we can do with the Blue Jays. A new fresh start for Big Brian.
Last reliever, we got Rafael Dolis, who's like a Kenley Jansen lookalike.
Kenley Jansen, dollar store version. I don't know much about Dolis, but I didn't mind how he looked in the exhibition game against the Red Sox a few days ago. So I guess we'll see. And then we got Mr. Punch Myself in the Face, Ken Giles. He's pretty
sick.
He's pretty sick, if I say so myself.
Shut down closer.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we gotta say. Throws heat, got a good slider. There's a lot to like about Ken Giles, and hopefully he can close out some of these games in this short span.
Next up on the preview, we're going to be looking over the Blue Jays schedule. So they've got 10 games against the Rays, Orioles, Yankees, and Red Sox. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. They'll get probably destroyed by the Yankees.
The Yankees, it's their World Series to lose this year, in my opinion. Rays, that's a pretty damn good team. We
Yeah.
saw how the Blue Jays pitched and played against the Red Sox in the exhibition games.
So that's a pretty close game, I guess.
It wasn't awesome,
Yeah.
but they got 2 wins. One because of a rain delay, but 2 wins is 2 wins. And then
Orioles are kind of hopeless. You got Chris Davis, like...
the Orioles are bad, but the Blue Jays are also bad.
Yeah.
So I will have to see there. I think they can beat. They can have a winning record against the Orioles this year. I think the Yankees and the Rays are the tough ones. Red Sox, we'll have to see. We don't know which version of the Red Sox we're getting. No Mookie this year.
And no Sale. He's out with Tommy John.
No Sale too, and no Price.
Yeah.
Then we got 6 games against the Phillies.
Bryce
Harper, pretty good. I personally like the Phillies roster, and I feel like they have a good shot at making the postseason this year, especially with the expanded playoff rules. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Then we got 4 games against the Nationals and 4 games against the Marlins.
Marlins, like, we gotta win those games. Those are must-win games.
Brian Moran's former team, the Battle of Brian. The Nats, defending World Series champs, but
Lost Rendon.
no Rendon, no Zimmerman.
Soto has COVID.
He'll be out for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's an interesting matchup. Also, we'll have to see, are they getting the Strasburg-Scherzer treatment? We'll see.
We'll see.
And then 3 games against the Braves, 3 games against the Mets. Obviously, tough matchups.
Yeah. Acuna, hard to shut down.
The Braves are going to be tough, even though they've lost quite a few players this year due to opting out. And I feel like today they lost Darno and Flowers to COVID concerns. I know they're not playing today. The Mets, as much as people laugh at them for being the Mets,
The Stroman return.
the Stroman return. I guess we'll see how.
Stroman versus K, straight up.
Yes. I guess we'll see if Edwin Diaz can bounce back.
So, kind of relating to the schedule, we got the division. So, divisional games will be crucial if the Blue Jays want to make the playoffs. And we believe that Yankees will finish first in the division, hands down. Then the Rays, Red Sox, Blue Jays, kind of a toss-up for 3rd and 4th.
I personally think Red Sox, Blue Jays, Orioles, but I could see Blue Jays, Red Sox, Orioles. Depending what version of the Red Sox we get. We getting World Series Red Sox, or are we getting last year Red Sox?
Blue Jays, hopefully, if they want to finish in 3rd, they got to get off on the right foot. Hopefully they stay healthy. And
The key to this year, stay healthy, limit those injuries, and we'll actually touch more on the keys in our next segment. All right, so some of our keys to Blue Jays success. We're going to start with our batting keys, and then we're going to go into the pitching keys. So first, batting keys.
score more runs.
I know that's something that's like obviously score more runs, but the Blue Jays last year in 2019 finished 8th last in runs scored per game, only getting 4.48 runs every game. Obviously not every game, that's just their average. Obviously more hits equals more runs, so get more hits. They finished 2nd last in hits last year, only above the Padres.
And lastly, Teoscar, you got to get those Ks down.
And more than just Teoscar.
Yeah,
but
whole
I'm looking
team.
at you, Teoscar. Stop swinging
And
those
Vlad.
Vlad. They struck out way too much last year. 7th most strikeouts in the majors last year is horrible. You're not gonna win games if you're. I know. Here's the thing: you're not gonna win games if you're striking out all the time. And I know, I know, the new game is a lot of teams strike out more and hit a lot more home runs.
Yeah, it's basically bombs and strikeouts.
But the Blue Jays, you're not good enough to strike out and hit home runs all the time because you don't hit home runs all the time. You're not like the Yankees. You're no Judge.
Guys got to figure it out.
All right, so we just did the batting keys. Now we're going to do the pitching keys to success. Get the walks down. They walked to the 3rd most batters in 2019, which is 74 more above league average. That's crazy. That's more than one Sean Yamaguchi.
I would be looking at you, Marcus Stroman, but
You're gone. Bye. Next, we got limit hits, obviously. less hits equals less runs.
Edwin Jackson last year be like
Bad. Here's the thing. You can give up a lot of hits and a lot of runs in a game if you accumulate as much runs with your offense. For example, the Minnesota Twins give up a lot of hits and a decent amount of runs per game.
they score lots.
But they got goons in their batting lineup to score those runs, to get them back into the game and win them those games. The Blue Jays, they can't do that.
You got to start doing it.
Well, they got to start doing it, but last year they didn't do that. They just gave up a lot of hits and runs. Like, they gave up less hits than the Twins did, but the Twins were like a 100-win team because they could hit and they could get runs on the board.
One of the biggest questions for the Blue Jays is their playoff odds. They're not great, seeing as there was only 10 teams, but it expanded to 16 teams.
Yeah, the league announced yesterday that they're expanding to a 16-team playoff format. So how it would go is the top 2 teams from each division. So in our little AL East predictions, there would be Yankees, Rays for the top 2.
I really don't think the Blue Jays can beat the Rays.
So it would be the top 2 from each division, and then like a wild card system would be the top 2 teams who weren't the top 2 in their divisions. So as we got in our little prep here, we got the Blue Jays. They're not going to beat out the Rays or Yankees for the top 2, but they could definitely be in the conversation to battle for the wild card with teams like the Red Sox, White Sox, Indians, Angels, Rangers, Athletics, so on. So I guess we'll just have to see where they fall. I personally think that it's very possible that they could potentially slide into one of those wild card spots. I don't think they're beating out the Rays or Yankees. I don't know what Cody thinks.
I don't think that either, but I mean, they gotta string more wins together, and like losing streaks, more than 3 games, that's just in a 60-game season, that can't happen.
Yeah, the losing streaks for the Blue Jays are killer. And as Blue Jay fans, we know that they like to go on their losing streaks
and lose bad.
And
Edwin Jackson.
And as Cody mentioned, they can't. It's not an option. If they go on a decently sized losing streak, if they go on like a 5+ game losing streak, they only got 60 games.
Yeah,
that's not very good. If they're gonna go on a losing streak, they gotta get that winning streak too, and hopefully they can battle for one of those wild card spots. So, bottom line is, for them to win in the American League, they need to
stay consistent. So obviously, game 1 tonight for the Blue Jays against the Rays. Starting lineup for the Jays: shortstop, my man Bo,
hitting first.
Second base, Kevin Biggio,
hitting second.
First base, Vlad Fat. Fourth, third baseman, Travis Shaw. Fifth, center fielder, Randall Gutchick.
My man.
Sixth, DH, Rowdy Tellez. Well, man.
Yeah, my man.
Seventh, strikeout, Teoscar.
Lay off those high fastballs, man.
Eighth, get hit in the face, Derek Fisher. And 2 big bombs against the Red Sox, no big deal.
No biggie.
And ninth, we got Danny Jansen. Starting pitchers, obviously we mentioned the ace, Hyun-Jin Ryu, and for the Rays is Charlie Morton.
Oh, yeah. We did miss a few players. We missed Wilmer Font,
Jonathan Davis. We're sorry.
Sorry, but they're injured.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see when they come back. Thank you guys for watching.
Anything you want to comment, just comment below. Anything we missed, just let us know. And
please like and subscribe. And stay
tuned. And Matt's Sports Talk.
And stay tuned for more sports talk videos. And
see you guys next time.